I bought this camera when it came out in 2019, the very first week. I had recently purchased the 4K, but as soon as I heard about the 6K, I immediately jumped on the 6K. For me, it made sense. I love the 4K, and the 6K was the same, only better, and with an EF mount for all my lenses. Although I had the 4K for a bit, I didn't really use it that much before switching, so the 6K was as new to me as it could be. I had used the Panasonic Lumix GH5 and the GH5S extensively before, but I wanted to shoot RAW. I was fascinated by the abilities RAW brought to the table, such as white balance control and ISO flexibility, and of course the massive room for color grading. I was also interested in shooting 6K and being able to crop in and output in 4K. Almost 6 years to the day have passed since I got the 6K, and I've shot short films, corporate videos, and more recently a short form series, which I've posted here on YouTube. It's called Isabel, and I'm currently still in production even though 3 episodes are already out. Everything with the good old 6K OG. You should check out the episodes if you're curious about the show. 3 episodes are up right now as you speak in this channel, and more to come very soon. You know, when I first started acquiring gear, I fell into the trap that most of us fall into, the obsession with specs and wanting to have the latest and greatest. I spent so much unnecessary money on stupid impulse purchases, and I switched cameras way too often. I went from a 5D Mark IV to the GH5 lineup, and then finally to Blackmagic, all in the span of 2 or 3 years, never really diving into the inner workings of each camera and truly mastering them. I was a victim of YouTube propaganda on cameras and film gear in general. I guess we all are at some point. When I first started shooting with the 6K, I didn't really know how to use it properly. And I'm talking about color grading more than actual shooting. On that front, I had plenty of experience already. But working with B-RAW and converting the log footage wasn't my expertise at all. In fact, it took me the better part of 4 years with the camera to truly understand those workflows and master them. I managed, nonetheless, at the time to deliver decent results. I've always been very resourceful when it comes to filmmaking, but these days I can say I truly know how to work with the camera in almost every aspect of it. I wanted to make this video because I want to pay tribute to my old 6K OG. What a terrific piece of equipment it still is. It shares the same sensor as the 6K Pro and the 6K G2. They're all the same camera except for all the bells and whistles added further on. When it comes down to image quality, they're all exactly the same, and that was the main reason I never switched to the newer models. For what I do, I found that it wasn't a necessity. I shoot mostly indoors and on sticks. My second point with this video is one I've made a few times before in other videos. We're living in a golden age of technology where the gap between the professionals and the consumer has but all disappeared. These days, anyone can produce broadcast quality content with almost any modern camera. Films are being shot on iPhones and other consumer-based cameras. The real challenge is not the gear, but the talent and vision. We live in a time where we can do almost anything at home on a computer. Short films, feature films, VFX heavy or not, it's all possible if you have the expertise. I don't think I'll switch cameras anytime soon. What for? Look at what this 6-year-old camera does. It could have come out this week and we'd all be blown away with what it does. It hasn't aged a single day in terms of capabilities. Neither has the 4K for that matter. This could well be applied to that camera as well as countless others on the market today. I invest my money in lighting, sound, and lenses when I can afford it. The camera stays because it's simply amazing. I'm tired of X versus Y camera videos and this camera has one more stop of dynamic range or this camera has better low light capabilities. It's a rabbit hole you won't come out of if you get hung up on it. It does not matter. The Blackmagic Pocket Cinema Camera 6K produces gorgeous images. And if you know about lighting and composition, there are no limits to what you can achieve with this camera. And I say again, you can replace this camera with so many others and the point will remain. We need to stop obsessing with specs and start shooting actual meaningful pieces of work. I'm a film director, so for me all I need is a solid camera with a solid codec, and the rest is creative juice, cinematography, sound, etc. I shoot on controlled environments with lighting, so I don't need a run-and-gun setup capable of miracles and low light and so on. If you're a filmmaker, an actual filmmaker, not a videographer or anything else, you're probably good with what you have now. Specs don't matter, story does. Never forget that. If you tell a good story, no one will care if you had noise in the shadows or a couple of burnt highlights. It doesn't matter. And with the 6K OG, I have more than enough. It's a great camera, and it has been with me for so long now. It's like family, and I love shooting with it more and more. Blackmagic is truly an amazing company, putting out products like this at such affordable prices. They have my loyalty for years to come. Never in my dreams did I think I'd still be using the 6K OG after 6 years. Not to mention it gave me no issues ever. Very, very solid product. If you don't have a lot to spend, consider an older camera like this one. It's more than enough for narrative filmmaking. Go tell your story. Invest your time in the script and cinematography and so on. The 6K OG will handle most of what you throw at it. No more excuses. Go tell your story. And don't forget to check out my new series up on the channel at this moment. 3 episodes up. Really like to hear your feedback on it, even if it's just about technical parts. Love to see what you have to say. And thank you.